In this video, I'll show you how you can use Google Slides to create a simple activity that you can upload to Seesaw. So here's an example of an activity that I created, and this is what it looks like before being uploaded to Seesaw. So let me go ahead and show you the steps I used to create this activity. Now this one's just a simple CVC activity where the students will be listening for the sounds and then labeling each picture. So let's go ahead and open a new document. And we'll start with a fresh slide. I'll go ahead and label that. And then we can go ahead and start by just getting rid of these boxes here. We won't need those. And the first thing I usually do is add a background. I'll use a solid color for this one, this blue one. So just select your color and click done. So I have a nice bright blue background. Then I'm going to use this shapes tool up here to add just a heading at the top, just to kind of label and let students know, and even families for remote learning, kind of what the topic of our activity is. So here's the box. I'm going to go ahead and use this format tool here first to change the border color to black. And then I'll fill that rectangle in all black too. So I'll click the fill bucket and click on that in black. Then I would like to put some text up here. So I'm going to insert a text box. And I'll start here. We'll just call it CVC short A. I'm going to highlight the text to make it a little bigger. Let's go ahead and try that. I'll change the font. And then I'll also change it to white so it stands out better. I'll go ahead and move that up here. There we go. Maybe screw it up. That looks good. Okay, so there we go. I have a little tab bar or title bar at the top. And then I'll also go ahead and just put in a little text box with some simple directions. Again, that will just remind the students and even parents, if they're helping for remote learning, what the directions will be. So just to label each picture. And we'll go ahead and change the font on that too. And then I'll just tuck that right under the title up top here. Okay, so there's just kind of the general heading and the directions at the top. Then I'll go ahead and start inserting the sound boxes. So in order to do that, I'm just going to insert a simple table here, like that. And the table isn't quite the size I'd like just yet. So let's go ahead and see if we can adjust the size a little bit here. That looks better. And then I'm going to go ahead and highlight that and adjust the borders too. So we'll go ahead up to format here, and we're going to go ahead and change the border color to black. And it's still a little thin, so I'm going to thicken up those lines a little bit here. I'm going to change that to 4 so you could see those a little better. And then I want to go ahead and fill in the space. So we'll fill in the boxes with white so they stand out better. So there's the sound box. Now I'll go ahead and highlight that again so I can copy it. Control C and then Control V, make a second box. I'm going to try and bring them down towards the bottom of the screen here. Let me get some handles on that. Bring that down here. Now if I highlight both boxes here like this, and I click this Arrange tool here, I can go ahead and get those aligned up better here. So it'll line it up on the page, and then I can also scoot it down a little bit here. So they're both centered. There we go. Okay, so we have the two sound boxes at the bottom here. And then I'm going to go ahead and try and find some pictures here. Since it's short A, I'll be looking for some words that have the short A sound in the middle. So here I'm going to click to A. I'm going to insert image. And you can, if you have your own clip art images or a file you already have, you can insert those here from uploading by your computer, or you can search the web here. On the side, it'll show you a little search box here. Now, we're going to search for images that have transparent backgrounds. So when I put in my search information, I'm going to put gray cat transparent background. Let's see what pops here. There we go. So we have several different options here. So let's see. I don't think I see the same one I had originally, but we'll go ahead and put this little guy in there. We have a gray cat. There we go. Looks a little sleepy. Put the gray cat right here. And then over here, then I'll go ahead. I'm going to look for red winter hat clip art, transparent background, and see what comes up there. Okay, there's that hat I saw before. So I'll add that, resize it a little bit. Make it a little smaller, and then add that over here. Okay, so this is just a simple activity. Obviously, you can add a lot more to the activity. You can make these boxes a little smaller, include a few more examples on the page. There are a lot of different things you can do on the slides, but this is just kind of a simple step-by-step to get you started. So from here, this is what we want to add to Seesaw, but we want to be able to add it as an image, the whole slide. So we're going to go ahead and go to File, and we're going to go to Download, and you can download it as a JPEG or a PNG file. So I'm just going to download it as a JPEG, and then it will download right to my bar down here. So now when I go to my Seesaw account, I'm going to go to Seesaw. So I'm in just my regular Seesaw account. Right now it's clicked on the journal, but I want to click on this Activities button over here. And then scroll down so you can see where you can browse the activity library, and it will take you to the library. Now you'll see a community tab up here. You'll also see this new school and district tab where we can share our activities with other teachers in our district. And then this My Library tab. So that's the one you want to click on, My Library. And then you want to click on this one that says Create New Activity. So you'll click there. This is where we'll name the activity and add the directions for students. So we'll do that here. When you're working on this part, this document will come in real handy. These are the shortcuts for the icons. We want students to see these pictures in the directions to help make it easier for them to follow through with the activity. But this is the text that we need to type when including those in the directions. So, for example, I kind of already prepared those for us. But you can see here the colon with the word add will be the green add button. I want them to use the drawing tool to label each picture, so the drawing icon will come up, and then the green check here. So the directions are there. This portion here is where you can add voice instructions so students know what to do for the activity. So just click on record. Hi boys and girls, for this activity, look at each picture, listen for the sounds as you label each picture using the boxes below. And then the students will be able to play that when they're working on the activity. This portion right here where it says add multimedia instructions or an example, sometimes teachers might have students watch a short video first, or you may have a link to a read aloud that you want them to listen to before completing the actual activity. That's where you can add that here, or you might want to add a sample of the activity they're going to complete. So let me just show you what that looks like real quickly. So this is an example of an activity that has a sample at the top, and then the template here, the blank one, is what they'll actually be using to create their own activity. In this portion, sometimes that might be a video link where teachers include, and that would be where we would include the multimedia link in the direction portion right here. So we're going to skip that one because we don't really have a sample for ours for this activity, but we do want to add the template. So we'll click here, and then we dragged it over here. This was the JPEG we created earlier. So we'll just drag it right here. We'll click on the check. And then this is what it looks like when students open it up in Seesaw. So we want to make sure we click the check there since it looks good. And then we'll see our item saved in our library once we click Save here. So you can see the item here. You can see the pictures are the same since we didn't have a sample. The directions are here. Now you can see those icons that showed up using those texting shortcuts we used. Here's the audio instructions. You can also share your activity here by clicking on share. You can send a direct email to teachers. You can share it on social media. You can actually get the link to copy as well to share it that way. So just different sharing options. And then this is where you would go to assign it to your class. So I have just a sample class here. I'll assign it. And then when students are logged in, they'll be into their journal and they'll click on this activities button here, and then they'll see the activity right here. And so again, here are the directions, the audio directions, and then they click on add the response. They'll find their name, and then they can just go ahead and label. It's already, the drawing tool is already selected, so I'll just go ahead and label those. Oops. And then click the green check, and then it will post to their journal. And then the teacher will approve it and send it back. So that's how you can add a simple activity to Seesaw starting out in Google Slides.